Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect of Israel. Shalom. Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. This truth is only for the elect. In this time frame that we're living in right now, those that are written in the book of life, so they can receive this truth. Nations that come from Shem. Who is anti-Semitic? Nations that come from Shem or descend from Shem. Who is anti-Semitic? Which the proper way you would say that is anti-Shemitic. Okay? Anti-Shemitic. And according to the Bible, according to our biblical reference, not only the Israelites come from Shem. Because see, with Amalek, they'll use that word anti-Semitic as their get out of jail free card, to deflect. Basically saying that, someone's a hater, you hate them, and the whole world hates them because of their wickedness. But it's not because everyone is anti-Shemitic, all right? And we're going to deal with that. Now first, before we get into the nations that come from Shem, which is a total of 8. Now I was doing, a lesson with the elder Yashawamba and with the captain Ashiar, and I mentioned 6 of the nations that come from Shem, but really it's a total of 8, You know what I'm saying? Because I went back into it, for myself, and, the Spirit showed me that there's 8, which if I'm leaving anything out, brothers let me know, you know what I'm saying? And I can correct it, but, it's a total of 8, you know what I'm saying? So, and also the Captain Ashiar, he's going to premiere the live stream that we did, because he can't just simply put it up because he's going to take it down, all right? But he's going to premiere it again. But, for the part where I was speaking about the nations that come from Shem, in that lesson, you can disregard it, because I left out 2. So I'm here to, clarify that, okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm here to correct it through the Spirit. But basically, dealing with that word anti, let's deal with that first, okay? And then we're going to get into the 8 nations that come from Shem. Now, when you deal with that word anti, this is on the free dictionary, and you can download this to your phone. Anti, the word root, against. So anti means against, okay? You scroll down. Now, in the sense of a noun, which we know a noun is a person, place, or thing. Okay? Now, think about Amalek when they say that people are anti-Semitic. Think about them for a minute. Now, anti, it says a person who is opposed to something such as a group, policy, proposal, or practice. So it means against or opposed. The opposite of. And the only way you can be the opposite of Shem is if you descend from one of the other sons of Noah, which will be Ham or Japheth. All right? So this get out of jail free card, you getting off the hook by saying that people are anti-Semitic, it's a part of your sorcery, and it's not going to work, man. It's not working, okay? Because not only, I'm not going to say Jewish people, because you're not Jewish, all right? Let's call it who you are, let's call a spade. Really, you're Amalek, all right? Which, hey, they might take this down, hey, but I don't give a damn, man. But you are the tribe of Amalek, which is the top tribe of the nation of Edom, and even you come from Shem either. You know? There's a total of 8 nations that come from Shem. We're going to deal with that. But you see that anti means to be against or opposed, which is to be, you know, the opposite of. Okay? Opposed to, against. There you have it. Alright? So let's go into it, man. Go into it. Alright, this is Genesis chapter 10, verse 22. The children of Shem, or the sons of Shem, Elam and Ashur and Arphaxad and Lud and Aram. Alright, now right here, it mentions, you know, 3 of the nations out of the 8, which will be Elam, Ashur, and Aram. Okay? And we're going to get into the other nations in a minute. Okay? Because they would come from Arphaxad. Alright? And out of all those nations, out of all these nations that come from Shem, Israel was produced last. Which in the spirit, we're the first. You know? But just on the earth, you know, we were made as the last nation. But really, we're created first. You know, we were the first in the heavens. You know? Like Elder Yahshua be saying. But, you know, let's go into this real quick. Because when you go into the blue letter, this is the only time when they have the nations on point as far as explaining who they are. Because all the other nations that come from Shem, they go off on them. But they explain these correctly. Okay? So the sons of Shem, Elam, let's click on that. So who would Elam be? Now Elam in the Hebrew is Ayalam. Or Ayalam. Okay? Which seems to be a different form of Iwalam, which means eternity. Okay? But basically, when you scroll down, it says, of a province of Persia. So Elam represents the Persians, which today would be the people of Iran. Okay? The people of Iran, or what you call Iran, and also the people of East India. The people of East India. You know, and also you got Elam all throughout the Middle East. You know, but in particular dealing with East India and Iran. Okay, there will be Elam today. So that's one of the nations that come from Shem. Okay? And you have Ashur, which in the Hebrew is Ashawar. Ashawar, which, excuse me if, you know, if I'm not, you know, pronouncing it exactly. Okay? Because, you know, the Hebrew can be tedious when you don't have the connectors. All right, now it says it means a step, but basically, you know, you scroll down, it means Assyria. Assyria. So the Assyrians, that's another nation. All right. So you got Elam, which are the so-called Persians, you know, people of Iran and East India, and you have Ashur, which are the Assyrians, and it says Aram at the end. Now Aram, it goes right into it. It means exalted. But for Aram, they have Syria. So the Syrians. The Syrians. So that's a total of 3 nations. All right. And we got some more coming. But it's a total of 3 that come from Shem. All right. But we know it's more than 3. So Genesis chapter 11, you go to verse 10. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And when you keep reading, basically, this eventually goes into how Abraham came on the scene, you know, which is the son of Terah, okay? Now you have Abraham and you have Lot, which is Abraham's nephew, okay? Now Lot produced the nations Moab and Ammon, you know? So there's two more nations that ultimately come from Shem, okay? Now I left those two out in the live stream, but I'm here to mention it right now, okay? You have Moab and Ammon. When we go to Genesis chapter 19, you know, after the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah and those other three cities, now we know that Lot was saved. Lot and his two daughters, well, basically what they did, what Lot's daughters did, they got their father drunk. They got Lot drunk, you know, to basically preserve seed on the earth, because when Sodom and Gomorrah and those other cities got destroyed, they basically thought that the majority of the earth got destroyed and there was no more men left. Because you remember, you know, you read the story, you read the account, Lot's daughters' husbands, they died in Sodom, okay? So they thought that basically there was no more men on the earth. So they got their father drunk and they had seed by him, okay? It was an act of incest, basically. But here we go right here. You know, just getting to the point, all right, because I explained what happened. Genesis 19 and 36, thus were both the daughters